comic books cost. Because apparently it's just completely random. And I'm not talking about how, like, a comic book from 1960 costs 10 cents. Back in the day, comic books only costed a couple pennies. And because of inflation or whatever, I'm not an economist, they cost more now. I get that. The average Marvel or DC comic, if you want to buy it new, costs like $3.99, $4.99. In 2015, the average price was $3.99. But then people like Ace Blade Comics here on TikTok Shop, they sell their comics for $10. And so I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, well, Ace Blade isn't Marvel. And that's a good point, because like they're a smaller distributor. Ace Blade is like one, maybe two dudes, and they're like printing this in their house, shipping it out. But Alterna Comics does the same thing. And look at how much they cost. It's like $1, $2 max. So how much do comic books cost? I feel like sometimes I'm getting ripped off. New comics are a scam.
Well, I must be Scammer McScammington. I sell my comic books for $20. $20? That's a ripoff. No? Here's the breakdown. My comic book Judgment Day is like a trade. So it's about 60 pages. I pay $70 per page to do that. How much does that cost? Then I have to get that comic book printed. Let's say to print per issue is $4.60. Most print shops got a minimum. I think one of the print shops I use is 25, but we're going to go with 50. Okay, so 4.6 times 50. Altogether, that's almost $5,000, right? That's not including marketing, not including special covers where you commission somebody else. That's not including that. That's just including to make it and to print it. How many comic books do you guys sell? Well, on average, most people will sell 200 books in the first year if they're lucky. And it says 1,000 books per lifetime, but I don't believe that number. You would have to be constantly marketing, great at marketing. You got to be really good at that. I don't believe that number, but most people sell about 200 comics in that one issue. 200 books of one issue. Oh, if we do the math on that, what? Okay, I sell my comic book $20. You take that, multiply that by 200, what do you get? I'm not even making back what I put into the comic book. I'm losing money. Again, did not mention how the commissioning a cover, did not mention marketing. That all costs money. Saying someone printing their comic book and charging $10 is a fucking scam. Like, okay, Ace Blade prints his own comic book. And as I pointed out in there, he sold on the TikTok, and that's just the TikTok shop. He sold 334. Multiply that by 10. You still also have to take out the fact that you have to mail that shit out. Shipping is like $4 or $5. Most people are not. I don't have enough money to go and buy a fucking printer and the ink that comes with it. So more than like, I have to use a printer. I have to find somebody to print for me. And I pay someone $70 per page. It's not a scam. It's not a jip. It's what it costs. I'm losing money on my comic book. Unless I sell 1,000 copies in the first year. 500 copies in the first year. If I price my comic book at $10, I would have to sell double what on average people sell. That's crazy, right? And again, my comic book is 60 pages. It's almost like a trade. I believe it's worth $20 because it's three chapters in one. Every single comic book, about 3 chapters in one. If you like dark fantasies, hit up our website, afronominonstudio.com. Shit, we got other merch on there, stickers and all that other stuff. Please support us. But yeah, we're not scamming you. We're actually losing money. Like, I believe on my first comic book, I think I'm almost at about 100 copies, maybe 120-ish. But that's it. I haven't sold 200 copies of my first comic book, and it's been out for 2 years. That's the reason why. Jesus, man.
Bamboo earrings, baby.